Here it is, the first genuine video of 2021. Yeah. So I'm sure it's safe to say that the Uchiha family within the confines of the Boruto manga have not gotten the most love when it comes on to the monthly serialization format for the series. Wagwan everyone, Sanjay Uchiha here, and I must say Happy New Year, of course, the no fresh New Year 2021, and of course another chance, another year to actually tackle our goals for the most part. Of course, before I get into today's video, I must say tomorrow I'm thinking, or more or less 99.9% sure, that I'll be tackling One Piece chapter 1000. I'll be live streaming. I know a lot of the bigger One Piece YouTubers are more likely going to be live streaming as well, so I'm like more or less an afterthought. But if you're still interested in joining me, definitely, because even though I hardly do One Piece content on this channel, it's a major achievement, and I am a One Piece fan. I have been for many years, so join me there if anything. So anyway, back to today's video, Sarada Uchiha 2021. As I mentioned earlier, guys, Sarada, or at least the Uchiha family, well, at least when it comes on to Sasuke and Sarada, they haven't really gotten much love when it comes on to the Boruto manga, but more than likely something is going to change this year when it comes on to the series. If you saw my Boruto 2021 video where I more so talked about not necessarily the character of Boruto specifically, but the entire story, one of my expectations is getting some setup for Sarada's character for this year. And with things being set for Naruto and Sasuke to actually seemingly leave the story in some shape or form, it's safe to say Sarada might get a push when it comes on to the manga. But before even getting into it anymore, I must say again, guys, thanks for all the love and support last year. And I'm kind of cutting with all these disclaimers, but just bear with me. Just respect for the love and support from last year. Honestly, it's been overwhelming, you know, reaching where I am now on YouTube, especially after so long. So once again, respect for that. And as per usual, if you're new here, definitely hit that subscribe button, that like button, share this video out. It definitely helps me out. Let's start building that conversation for the quote-unquote year of Boruto, as I'm going to start calling it, because things are looking up regarding the manga and anime, I would say. But let's continue our discussion for this morning, because this video should be going up in the morning, hopefully. But yo, Sarada Uchiha, right? When it comes on to the manga, Sarada has been there for the most part, and I think that's the problem. I don't think she's gotten the level of abuse that Sasuke has gotten when it comes on to the Boruto manga, but honestly, she's been... If it wasn't for the Boruto anime, funny enough, I don't think a lot of persons would be as invested in Sarada as they potentially are right now. I mean, right now, I would say manga-wise, outside of the fact that she's Sasuke's daughter, she's a Uchiha, there's not much going for her, I would say, when it comes on to the Boruto manga specifically. So again, as we inch into this fight between Kawaki, Naruto, Sasuke versus Momoshiki, they are Borushiki, it's safe to say that with the treatment of Sasuke specifically, or at least Naruto and Sasuke, when it comes on to these last few chapters, Sarada will more than likely be part of those characters who will react in either a heavily or probably a very emotional way going forward when it comes on to the Boruto manga, right? Because obviously we've always heard that we are setting up for Boruto and his character to, or at least his life, to descend into darkness, right? And honestly, when you really take that into consideration, that could actually extend to the other characters, the people around him, and who better than the persons who are on his team? And with Sarada actually, you know, being the talk of the beat in terms of, like, you know, talking about her future Mangekyo Sharingan, and she'll get Sasuke's eyes, you know, I'm sure these are topics that have come up time and time again since 2016, since the Boruto manga started. And it just really dawned on me that with Naruto and Sasuke being set up to be removed from the story, not necessarily by death, but the way things are looking from this recent fight, we're obviously transitioning to the new generation, or at least specifically Boruto Sarada. I don't know, I've been saying this since the fight with Boro, but it really and truly is the case. We're inching towards them carrying this series, pushing forward, being more so in the spotlight when it comes on to the story. So the fact that Sarada hasn't had the best showing in the manga, at least in terms of screen time or when it comes on to arcs or stuff around her, it would make sense for me for Kishimoto to actually push her in some shape or form at some point in 2021, especially since when it comes on to the fight with Boro from then, or at least as early as the fight against, say, Kashin Koji after they initially found Kawaki, till now Sarada has been observing and hasn't been able to, I would say, contribute as much as she would have wanted to in the whole conflict. And especially like when we see her in the relatively recent chapters, when it comes on to when she's telling Sasuke that something happened to Boruto and everything, I think all of these events are going to, you know, sum up, they're going to add up to pushing, or at least setting things up for Kishimoto to give us some payoff, or give the character some motivation to take herself to the next level, is what I am saying. And I think 2021 is possibly the time for that to happen, because personally speaking, I can see why a person say that there's not much going for her. And I like Sarada, she's one of my favorite characters of the new gen easily, but even I will admit and have to be objective that she does need that push. Her character, her ties to what's truly important, the main story, needs to be, it needs to become stronger. Her role needs to be even better than before going into 2021. And of course, I'm not crazy enough to think that it's going to happen initially, because we're still wrapping up the fight with Momoshiki, obviously. So obviously right now most of the things will be centered around like Boruto, Naruto, Sasuke, Kawaki. But immediately outside of that, Sarada needs to be one of those characters I feel Kishi needs to give the spotlight to, because right now, especially if we're as close to the time skip as we think we are, it would be kind of like how at the end of part 1 Naruto, after all the characters went through this life or death mission to get back Sasuke, everybody was motivated to actually push forward and, you know, train, and then become utterly useless in, in Shippuden or part 2. But I think that won't be necessarily be the case here. I just think Sarada, given especially even her dream to become Hokage, seeing that the current Hokage potentially, seeing everything that the current Hokage had to go through as well, and just taking everything into consideration between the current Hokage, Naruto, her father, her teammates, there's so many factors that in her life that she loves that she hasn't been able to play a crucial role in the recent, well, chapters, to say the least. So given how her character is, I actually see Kishi pushing her, because she needs it. Honestly, she needs it, and I don't say that in a negative way or to put down her character or anything like that. It's just the facts at the end of the day that her character needs something more. It's really been the Boruto and Kawaki show, Boruto, Kawaki, Naruto, Sasuke, and Kara show, for the most part, manga. And I know there are more than likely to be some, as I said, most of the positives regarding Sarada's character right now comes from the anime, but I think it's time to introduce a turning point where we stop depending on the anime when it comes on to Sarada's character. Well, not that they need to reduce the positivity that they're showing with their character, or whatever positivity you think that's there as well, but I think the manga just needs to step up its game in terms of that as well. I know the monthly format is probably working against that as well, but it is what it is. But anyway, let me know your thoughts and expectations when it comes down to Sarada's character in 2021. I'm looking forward to seeing her get the push from Kishimoto that I think she deserves, and at least give her character something more to work with than, oh, I'm Sasuke's daughter, oh, there's an appeal of finally getting a female Uchiha. We need something more than that. And we know Naruto as a franchise, it has some cool female characters, but they've always, I feel, fell short, to say the least. So Sarada stands as the hope of the opposite of that. So I think that's part of the reason, well, part of her charm that the fans have actually, stuck themselves onto. Apart from the fact that she's, Sakura's daughter, and then there's that comparison that, oh, Sakura's daughter is more useful than her, whatever. So, yeah. But anyway, once again, guys, thanks for tuning in. Of course, again, Happy New Year, and I hope you guys had an amazing time with your family and friends. Happy New Year. Like, the New Year aside, just a calendar date for the most part. Continue working towards your goals and just push forward. Do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do. So, yeah. Anyway, Sasuke Uchiha, be sure to like the video, subscribe, share this video out, let me know your thoughts, start a discussion, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks again, guys. Peace.